Has there ever come a time in the world or ever in your life when we will think that yes, this is enough, this is all I ever wanted? Like, say you would become the smartest person in the universe. Well, then you'll be able to say that I got everything I wanted and I can be free now. Well, I don't really think so because our human consciousness is designed to never be satisfied with anything. It just has a deep lack within it, which is really important for evolution because that's the thing that motivated us to get out of the caves and explore the jungle or see the universe beyond what we already knew to exist. So in that sense it was really important at that time, but since we already live in a civilized or so-called civilized world, or even if we live the way we do now, it causes more problems than benefit because we can say that we are evolved beings and living in societies, but there is still a huge lag between us which no one seems to be ready to admit. People try to cover it up with religious achievements, titles, money, lust, or love. Love seems to be the best option considerably, but it still is never enough, and that's what causes most of the miseries in the universe because our heart is never enough and it can never be fulfilled. I don't know what the fuck Buddha was even talking about because there is no end to suffering. Suffering is the only reality that exists. We can pretend that it doesn't exist. We can lie to ourselves thinking that oh my god, God is so good, or I feel so happy buying this new mobile, or I'm so fucking rich. But if that was the actual truth, then at one time when you get your desired item, you will be like, okay, I got what I wanted, and I had enough of it, but we still want the next thing, and so on and so forth. So the main thing is wherever you go, there you are. Because say there is Elon or some other richest person in the universe, they are always like, I want $200 billion, or I want more money, more money. There never comes a time when they say it's enough because they have this inherent lack in themselves which always motivates them to do bigger things. It's the lack that is the motivation, which people sometimes take as inspiration, or oh my god, they're so great, I want to be like them. But in fact, they are running away from their childhood, their complexes, their traumas, and trying to build something bigger out of themselves so they can not feel like a worthless piece of shit. But it never really goes away because that's the human reality we all have to live through. That's just this cursed life of a human is on earth. Like, there is never gonna be enough. You can have all the money in the universe, you can have everything you want, but there will still be emptiness. Let's say that all those magical powers in the Hindu scriptures and mythology are real, all those siddhis of manifesting anything, telecommunication and stuff. But even in those stories, they show those people have anger or other frustrating desires, which makes them do use those power in a malefic way, which causes more problem for the humanity. These super rich demons, well, that's the thing. They show that they're showing in a way that all these powers are gonna be source of more attraction and lust and you know unsatisfaction than actual satisfaction and having enough from your life. That's just, I think, how the universe works. There is never enough for all us humans, and people think that they will have this money and they will be happy, but they're never happy because that's the thing they've taught themselves in their childhood or through traumas or through repetition or whatever you want to say it. They have learned that no amount of money is enough, and they have this scarcity consciousness inside them, which makes all the money in the universe feels like a lack in them, that it is never gonna be enough. They keep running after money. They sell drugs even though by the time we get into those things, we already have enough money to live the rest of our life. If we can live it frugally, or for some people even comfortably, but they've taught themselves that it's never enough. In India, parents teach their children that you have to make us proud, you have to achieve something for us, but they don't realize that it's their own failure that they're projecting onto their children. If they were enough as a person, they wouldn't need to be a burden on their children and ask them to fulfill their desires. And that's why they're never enough. They wanna, you know, make their child a mastermind, never let him enjoy it, turn them into a machine, and then get full grades on class marks which never matter, get full grades in boards, kill their dreams, not be who their ambitions are, and be a perfect sex doll kind of for their parents to come and be treated however their parents want them to, then to have sex with the kind of person their parents choose for them, and then give them more toys to play with, more children to put their ambitions on. But they never realized that if they themselves were not a failure, then they would have achieved what they wanted and not be a burden on their children. It's just the way people are. They never stop to ask themselves what's the problem. Instead, they always put it on you know on whoever they think they can control. It's children for everyone in the universe basically, but it's partner for religious people or third world people who think they can force their ambitions on their children's, and their children will just be living like a perfect machine and not have any life of their own. And that's why they wait for their parents to die so that they can be the person they want to be. It's really sad reality that in most places and also in India, these third world countries, for children to live out their dreams and be the kind of person the children hopes to be, they have to wait in order for their parents to die so they can